It's September, and we have Paige Poprocky and Lauren Z. Ray, both social media influencers. Welcome to Eat It, Virginia.
Hello and welcome to Eat It, Virginia. My name is Scott Wise, and I'm joined, as always, by my friend, Roby Martin. Roby, Influencer Day, the day you've been waiting for.
Influencer Day. Now, I just learned that, well, there's so much more, Scott.
Absolutely knew that.
We did, but it's cool to listen to what goes on behind the scenes and understand what their day actually looks like. And I mean, big business.
Maybe they're not influencers, as we learned during the interview.
No.
There's a little bit of pushback on that word.
I like it though. I mean, there really is a lot going on inside of their businesses, and it's cool to hear about what is going on.
That is very true. We'll get to our interviews with Lauren and Paige in a moment. We are more than halfway done the year. We are in September.
Yes.
December's around the corner. Are there restaurants opening up in town that you're super excited for in this last quarter of the year?
So I actually really am excited about Bar Bowie. I have to tell you, it keeps in my head going to Bar Louie. Did you ever go?
There was some discussion of that in the newsroom when the name was first announced.
Yeah, I mean, I wish it was just Bowie, but I don't get to make those decisions. But I know that she's really good at bars. You've been to the Pink Room, you've been to the Black Lodge.
She being Brittany Anderson.
Absolutely. And I think this rebrand with some seafood-focused stuff, and she's hyper-local seafood because she was brought up in it, so I'm really stoked about that opening. I really like the idea of Shenandoah Mansions, which is going to have Cody Donovan as the bar manager and also maybe somebody we just talked about as a chef. And I think that's really cool.
Tell me more about this project, because I knew about Brittany's project. I'm less familiar with this one.
Maybe also a project of hers. But it's a big hotel that is, big is relative. It's on Lombardi. It's where what do you call it? An elderly home?
You just did.
55 and up or something
Senior
similar?
Living.
Senior living. That's a better word.
Closer to 55 and up. Let's not call it elderly.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. As I'm there almost, let's not call it that. But
Mature.
Yeah, but it's going to be a hotel. It's a boutique hotel owned by a company that actually does this all over the nation. So when that starts up, I'm kind of stoked about that. I could not be more excited about the Not a Steakhouse from Javos. I think that's going to be just
Lafayette Tavern.
Yeah, brilliantly curated. So he keeps showing. If you don't follow him on Instagram, he's at Javos on Instagram. Dean keeps showing some fun behind the scenes of that, and that's super cool. So yeah, Janet's is already open. So if you haven't been to the bakery in the South Side, that's really cool.
What's the backstory? Do you know the individuals behind it?
So yeah, they are still part of Marie Bette in Charlottesville, which is a really great French bakery in Charlottesville, and have come here and opened, let's call it Forest Hill area. They keep selling out. I think this is today, which is August the 20th. You'll be hearing this in September. I think this is their 7th day, and they can't keep anything in stock, which is exactly the way a bakery should be. I love it so much. It's fresh. And then Smoky Mug, yum. I'm so stoked that they're back. Their breakfast burrito is brilliant.
So that was a smaller restaurant, and they just reopened a larger restaurant. Is that what I know?
3 seats, maybe even less. I mean, it was little inside, and then they had a tent that they had been using to put people in, and I think that they just were let's be bigger because we need more space. And so, yeah, now they're bigger.
And this is a barbecue restaurant.
It is. There is some discrepancy as to where he trained, though I know he was at ZZQ or one of them was at ZZQ for a little bit of a time. But I find their coffee and barbecue to be outstanding.
Lovely. Roby, you are the go-to person for all the restaurant news in town. We all know this. That's why you're here. That's why your name's on the sign.
I don't know. It's been 7 years, Scott. I feel like you know plenty.
But I have a question for you. It's a little personal.
Hit me.
Do we have time for a little personal question?
I don't know. Are you going to put that music? Lights go low,
yeah,
personal stuff?
A little hazy, a little soft focus.
All right. Yep.
All right. So this past week, I dropped off my eldest child at college. Milestone.
Hokey, high, tech, VTI.
She is Virginia Tech, and miracle of miracles, she is not only on the same floor, it's not only on the same dorm that you were in when you were a freshman, on the same floor.
One room over.
Like, what are the odds?
I actually reached out to Liza, who was my college roommate, on this exact floor, in this exact dorm, and was like, did we scratch our initials anywhere? Like, could she find it, Sadie? Sadie, just look for Liza and Roby. I don't think it is. But I will tell you, we did take the doors off the closets, and we used them as ramps in between our lofts.
Oh, wow. Don't do that, Sadie, please.
Do that, Sadie. It gives you so much more room.
I don't want to pay the deposit, Sadie.
No, you just put them right back on. It's very easy. Did you set up a loft?
The loft is set up.
Wow.
Fortunately, her roommate's father was very handy, and I just
good. I was going to say, did you do it? You didn't do it?
It's kind of like this podcast. I just like supervising. You do all the heavy lifting. I supervise. It was the same situation at the dorm. But here's my question. I'll be going to Blacksburg. Before this year, I had never been to Blacksburg. Not before her first college visit.
Oh, it's so cool.
I am falling in love with it, which is hard because I grew up not really, well, I won't say it. I grew up not a Virginia Tech fan.
Oh, come on.
I wasn't.
The Hokies.
So it's going to be, anyway, what are the rest?
We are going to a football game.
I will definitely go to a football game.
We are going.
So aside from the football tailgate, what are some of the Blacksburg restaurants that you recommend that I should take my daughter when I visit?
First and foremost, you got to go to Gillies. You have to. I worked there in college. It's still around. It's like a lot of professors, lots of vegetarian food, incredible biscuits. I know they're still making them. Souvlaki is kind of like a Blacksburg institution. So is the Cellar, which I spent way too much time at the Cellar and ate way too much pizza. And it's just still, somehow it's managed to still be cool all these years. And then Hamro, which is Nepalese.
Oh, wow.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's like Indian food, sort of, right?
Yeah, so good.
But from Nepal, sorry.
From Nepal. But yeah, I mean, it's in
a similar cuisine.
You're going to love it. So those would be the ones that I would suggest right now. She's going to be able to find her own spot. I mean, obviously, Sharky's is still around. There's a couple other great bars, but she's not ready for that, Scott. So we're good.
That's right. We have a couple more years before we can. But
that's where I'd send her right now. Gillies especially, and then do not eat in Dietrich.
Do not eat in Dietrich.
No, she's got so many other options.
Gotcha. I'm paying for Dietrich probably though, aren't I?
You're paying for. You're paying for the other ones too.
Okay.
You're paying for
You're talking
a lot
about
of
on
them.
campus.
Yes.
Got it. Yes. It's it's all very confusing. I'm very overwhelmed. Hopefully, I'm sure she's figured it out by now.
And she should take advantage of taking you. And I mean, I'm not sure if this still happens. So sorry, Tech, if this is out of date. But there used to be like kind of a fine dining restaurant on campus.
Oh.
And your dining dollars will pay for that.
Oh, lovely.
Or at least it used to.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's definitely an option. So that's
yay, go Hokies.
Go. What's the hand? Is there a hand signal?
Yes, that's it.
Oh, it's like this, a V and a T.
Yes, you should definitely.
Do you know it?
You should definitely do this for sure.
This is Texas, right?
Yes, that'll get you in all the parties. Yeah.
And then the NC State Wolfpack, I got them all.
Yes,
Syracuse Orange is like this.
But you could do Virginia Tech. It's cool.
All right, there we go. So now we've traveled southwest. Let's travel a little bit north up 95. I heard that you've created a little bit of a stir online with your article about where to dine in Fredericksburg. Is a stir the right word to use here?
It's really cool. Like as I start to write for Eater more, I start to get to be a part of more Virginia dining scenes, and I'm really starting to branch out. And this most recent one is Fredericksburg. The next one's the Shenandoah area, guys. So if you have any suggestions, but Fredericksburg, yep. And we did a very small list of the best restaurants, or some of the best, as I am learning, in Fredericksburg. And
you were corrected?
I mean, I love it though. I want to be obviously I live in Richmond and slightly in Virginia Beach, so I'm able to frequent all of those spaces a lot more. This article took an absolute just boatload of research, and then I was able to pop in one weekend and then pop in another weekend, and so it's not as immersive as I really like to be, but it was. It was a lot.
So I don't want to give away the click. People need to click on Eater and read Roby's article about Fredericksburg. But is there one restaurant that you would recommend on the podcast here that people would check out?
So I really think, Joy Crump is a James Beard nominee, and I really think food is absolutely outstanding. And that's with an E. So FOODE is just great. And then I'm learning, and I'm going to go back, that Fahrenheit is also a really cool one. And then here's something neat. So Victoria Trummer, who owns Trummer's on Main, her chef has moved to Fredericksburg, and he's opening a new restaurant called Locavore, which is going to have a fun little speakeasy at the top of it.
Nice.
Which I think just sounds so cool for Fredericksburg. So there's my, if you didn't know, now you know.
All right, so from southwest to north, let's talk about Richmond and lots of tomato talk this summer.
I hope there's always tomato talk, Scott. It's like my favorite fruit.
It's a wonderful fruit.
Did you know they fruit at night?
Excuse me?
Yeah, it's actually a little too hot in Virginia for them to... They don't like temperatures above 80 degrees.
They being the tomatoes.
They being the tomatoes.
Got it.
Nope, they being Richmonders. No, like, yes, them being tomatoes.
They, them are tomatoes?
Yes, they, them are tomatoes.
Got it.
Yes.
So did you do hot tomato summer?
I did it at like ragingly. I did it here in Richmond. I did it in Virginia Beach, which is a new city for them. I did not. I have been to Baltics, which won, by the way,
yes,
the Golden Tomato Award. I have been there. I've had the sourdough bagels. They're freaking so good. I did not have the Pomodoro is what I think they called it. This cute little red bagel with this cute little green stem. And I'm a little upset that I didn't get it. But, you know, I think they weren't expecting. Richmonders love a photo op.
Yeah, sure.
And so, like, they went, I mean, it was, so cool. It was all over my Instagram. And, like some of them went viral.
Congratulations to Baltic. What was your favorite? What won the Roby Tomato Award?
So I had ice cream from Scoop.
The Romato.
The Romato Award. There it is. Oh, that's not cool.
Trademarked.
There you go. Boom. There's an ice cream from Scoop that I thought was just outstanding.
Just tomato flavored? Or?
Tomato, basil, like all of the good things you would put in ice cream. And it was just so freaking good. So that would have been my first place. I went to the Pink Dinghy in Virginia Beach. I had that one, and that one was really good. I did not try Yorkie's, but I have it on good authority that Yorkie's was delicious, and their cocktail was...
Shout out to Duke's. I mean, it was never really a small thing.
Kills it.
It wasn't a small thing, but it was definitely smaller a few years ago. Now it's, multiple cities and hundreds of dishes.
Like
and
8, 9,
That's
7.
wild.
It's awesome. There's a lot of more mayonnaise to go on top of that Coach during the Mayo Bowl. That's what I think.
The Duke's Mayo Bowl. That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Which we're going to. If Tech is part of it, now Sadie's in.
That's right. Maybe she'll get the mayonnaise dumped on her head. Did you do the other big tomato event this summer?
Supper Somm. Yeah, I did. Yeah, the Huntsackers who've been on the podcast, grow over 400 varieties of tomatoes.
Did I tell you what happened with them this summer?
A mile. No, you didn't. Did you run into him?
So David...
Does your best friend's dad, did he go to high school
even
with
better,
one of them? Okay.
David, the tomato farmer, posted on social media, looking for some strong hands to come out this summer and help me around the farm. My son was looking for a couple dollars to put in his pocket this summer. So I raised my hand and said, are you willing to hire a couple of teenagers to plant tomatoes? David's like, sure, bring them on. Dude, he kicked my son's ass.
Yes.
He kicked his ass. One day, Asher's like, I don't think I'm cut out to be a farmer.
Not a tomato farmer, your son. That's okay. Now he knows.
Hopefully he learned a lesson.
I think that he should try again.
The work ethic out there is impressive.
I think it's really just the two of them, which is incredible.
Yeah.
And they're almost out of tomatoes for next year. So just if you want a tomato from them, they're all spoken for, which I think is the coolest thing.
Can we now talk about two other incredible people?
I feel like you got a list in front of you, Scott. Yes.
How about Lauren Z. Ray?
Oh, God,
and Paige Poprocky?
Cool. Those guys are so cool. Social media, Scott. It's my favorite.
It's my job.
I know it is. And I think we have, I would say, arguably two of the best social medias in Richmond with
I'd say so.
Today.
Uh-oh. Yeah, they're laughing at that.
Why would you laugh? I mean, come on. I go to you guys for resources, so I imagine lots of other people do too. We have Lauren Z. Ray with us and Paige Poprocky. Hi, guys.
Hello. Yeah. Thanks for having us.
I'm so stoked. As I sent you guys both, I'm really excited because I think you know a lot and we know a little about social media, and I want to hear about the a lot. So how did you start, Lauren?
Wow, with social media?
Yeah.
Well, I think it was about 2016. My husband wanted to be a electronic dance music producer, and I was an actress in LA, and my manager and my agent were always like, get on YouTube, get on this Instagram thing, and it'll help us pitch you for projects. So I knew about it, and so when he said he wanted to do it too, I was like, well, you need to be on YouTube. You got to be on this Instagram thing. So we kind of started working together on that. And it was actually his YouTube channel that kind of blew up. And then we kind of made a whole business around it. We still have that business today, 9 years later. And so
still in LA.
Well,
He's here now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So it started in LA, but you didn't have to because it's online.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. So that kind of kickstarted a bunch of stuff. So I retired from acting, and then I was like fully the director, editor of the YouTube channel for his sort of music stuff. And we left LA. We actually moved abroad. We lived in Europe for like 5 years because we could live anywhere doing social media.
That doesn't suck.
Right? And so it was crazy. It was a whirlwind. We just learned a lot. We thought we were late in the game in 2016. We thought, social media is oversaturated. Like, there's too many of us. It's so funny because now people say the same thing. And I'm like, I don't think it ever is. I think there's always an ever-evolving thing with social media. So that's how I got started. And so from there, we've created a bit of a media company. We work with like other music businesses and other electronic dance music producers and all kinds of stuff with that business. And then when I moved to Richmond 2 years ago, I kind of started my sort of version of that.
And you're super niche with respect to what you do,
Yes.
which is not a bad thing. I don't want to say that like it's disdainful.
Oh, I love it.
Vegan food, I mean, I know, like, and I write about food. I know so little. You and I have had this conversation.
Yeah.
It's just not something I typically write about. I think that you got really big really fast because of how niche that is. How did that feel?
So to me, it was like, wow, I've been working with social media since 2016. I know how it works, sort of thing. So to me, it felt like it didn't happen very fast.
Okay.
It felt like I had all these skills that never went anywhere in a way. Before I created the Lauren Z. Ray account here in Richmond, I had another account called LZR Travels was the handle. And it was when we were international. I showed vegan options around the world.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Is that still alive?
It's not, actually. So you can't find it. Long story on that. But I did what I do here in Richmond, I did internationally. So I would interview restaurant owners and try the food, like all the vegan options around the world. And then also some like things to do, historical stuff. You know, I love that. And so I kind of did what I do in Richmond before Richmond. Mm-hmm. So yes, it did happen fast here with a big, so in case anyone's trying and struggling and they've been after this for a few years in Richmond, they're like, Lauren, you know, it was so easy for her. Yes, and I had a lot of years you didn't see. And so it takes a while to kind of build, you know, your skill set and figure it out. But niching down, I always tell people, is actually the best thing to do.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Yeah. Well, I mean, I love your niche. I mean, I follow you for specific things all the time. Paige, how did you get into it?
So when Instagram became a thing, I was instantly hooked. I downloaded it. I quickly became like an addict of Instagram. And I was a teacher. I really didn't like my job, to be honest.
Sorry, kids.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it takes
she teaches you thing about Richmond.
Yes, right. A lot.
It takes a special person, but I did that for 9 years. But during that time in 2019, again, I felt like I was late to the game. I started my wine account, Sips and Trips with Paige, to just kind of like have a side hustle, just do something I was passionate about. And during COVID, I wasn't really teaching. So I reached out to the owners of the Richmond Experience and I was like, hey, you have a ton of beer guides, but you don't have any wine guides. So I started writing freelance for the Richmond Experience in 2020. And that kind of just set the ball a little bit. They knew I wanted to get out of teaching, and we had lots of conversations of what can you do part-time, this or that. Well, we really want a social media manager. We know you have experience with Sips and Trips with Paige. How would you feel about making content for the Richmond Experience? And I was like, you know, I'll give it a try. So in 2022, I came on full-time as a social media manager, which also started Kelsey's role as the managing editor because I didn't have a lot of background in writing, and the person whose role we took over left and moved on to the Skim at the time. And so the job that we took over became 2 people. So I became social media, and Kelsey, my business partner, became the managing editor to write all of our editorial that we have on our website. And so that just kind of launched it in. And from there, I've just been rolling with it. Yeah.
And
so
you took over as owner here, what, a year ago? A
year in October.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah. So the Richmond Experience was not founded by me. It was founded by another couple, Sam and Sean Knipe. And just like Lauren, they started about 2017. That's when they launched the Instagram. And they truly, that was a time when the word influencer, I don't even think it existed.
No. Definitely
And so we've never called ourselves an influencer. just the brand. I feel like we're bigger than that personally. And they, in 2020, had their first full-time employee, Alicia. And when she left, that's when Kelsey and I came on. But they moved. They moved to New Jersey, and we're managing the business. But Kelsey and I were kind of doing it, out there, building the relationships. And so I think they saw that. And I think they were kind of hoping we would be interested in buying it. They were just looking for the right hands. And I respect that. I respect the business, and I'm thankful. And yeah, so Kelsey and I are the owners. I'm still pinching myself every day that it's what I get to do, and I love it. So it is very full circle for me.
How would you describe your business? What is it you do when someone asks you, what is it you do, Lauren? What do you say you do?
If you don't categorize yourself as an influencer, what do you categorize yourself as?
Well, it's interesting because I always approached it as a filmmaker first, video creator, content creator, because that's actually also what I do. I'm a documentary filmmaker as well outside of Instagram. And so I'm there because I love making videos. So that influencer sort of, I guess, label comes from what I'm showing, I guess. But I always think of myself as like, and you can tell in my videos, I get really into them. I mean, there's a lot of angles. Yeah, so I think of myself as more of I would say like a content creator, but I don't mind the label influencer because in my case, I'm always showcasing really cool local stuff. So if I can influence people to go support local, that's like job well done. Yeah.
Because we mentioned the vegan aspect, but you do much more than just vegan highlights. You do everything around Richmond.
Yeah, I was going to say, I love activities. I love doing things. And so what I love kind of just comes out in my work. So yeah, it's things to do in Richmond as well as vegan food here.
And why Richmond? Like, what brought you guys here in the first place?
Oh my gosh, that's such a long story. So maybe Paige wants to answer the influencer question first, and then I'll get into that.
Sure.
So for me, I also consider myself, yes, a content creator. And yes, I do influence people daily on where to go, what to eat, what to drink, see, do, everything. But with that term, I feel like you're kind of putting yourself in a little box. And we have, a website, we have a membership, we have clients, we have partners. So I feel like we're almost like a hyper-local media outlet. Like we are. I mean, we're small, we're tiny, we're mighty, but we're locally owned. We're independently owned. I think that's really important. And with that, I get to decide, every day who we work with. And, I don't have to say yes to everybody. And sometimes I feel like influencers will do anything to get the job. Where I can, because we have a business and there are things that are the backbone of our company, we get the choice. Like, I choose to say no to things that aren't locally owned. I only work with small businesses in Richmond. And so that's where I think it just sets us apart a little bit. And I like that, and I'm proud of that. And I don't think that's going to go anywhere.
I think that's great. I think more local hype is the best. At least, I mean, obviously, we're statewide food. I'm into locally hyping everything that's snack related, so I love that.
Yeah. All
right, how'd you get to Richmond?
Part one.
That is the number one question because I didn't know anyone here, and not for work, obviously, because we were online. So we were abroad, like I said, and during COVID 2020, we were like, probably should go back to the U.S. just to see what happens because I'm not sure what this means or what this is. I think we all felt that way. Did
you fly back during 2020?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Well, not to Richmond because I'd never even been to Richmond. That comes a little later, but like my parents had this house. They live in Florida half the year. They're snowbirds. And so they're like, just go to our house in Florida. Florida during 2020 was interesting. So we went to Florida and kind of got a little stir crazy. And things were opening up again towards the end of 2020 in a way that, you could travel it with like regulations and stuff. So there's more information out there. And so we were like, what if we just kind of traveled around to different states and spent a month in every like major city and tested out where we would want to live one day because we knew that living internationally wasn't going to be sustainable long term. And so we began that. So we had stipulations. Lucas, my husband, is from Southern California. Nowhere too cold. So we started in New York City because above that was going to be too cold apparently for him. So, and we worked our way down the East Coast and Richmond was our like fifth stop. First day
like
here.
actually living in or just thinking about living in?
Yeah, so just a month. So we spent a month in every city. So a month in New York City. Then we went to Philadelphia. We went to, I think, Baltimore. I don't remember where else. What are the states? But Richmond eventually. I think it was like the 5th one. And the first day we got here, it was the night. So we just checked into the Airbnb and slept. And when we woke up the next day, it had snowed like a foot. This was January.
That was your fault. I was wondering why that happened.
You guys might remember January 2021. That snow that happened. We had just arrived in Richmond.
That's the one that froze I-95
Yeah,
and people got
nuts.
stuck. Yeah. I remember that.
It was crazy.
Wild.
And it was so magical. It was amazing.
Where was your Airbnb?
The Fan.
Oh my gosh! So you got to experience everything nuts.
It was
holy moly.
Yeah.
It's
Norman Rockwell, eat your heart out.
It's
right?
crazy how the Fan is during a snowstorm.
And so we were obsessed. Richmond. Instantly, we were like, this is the place we want to live. But we were like, we already have plans to go to 25 states. So let's just file this away. There's so many reasons why we loved Richmond. I mean, I think you all know because we all love Richmond so much in this room. But yeah, the architecture, the vegan food scene was already good, even though it's just mostly takeout at that time, still delicious. And the people, the creativity, I could go on and on. It just felt right to both of us. And so we filed it away. We traveled around for another 2.5 years.
Jeez.
Yeah. But
I love your life.
Yeah,
right?
I'm very jealous right now.
Good amount of research though, to say Richmond is the best. I mean, if you really want to look at it, that that literally says, I would like you to know 2.5, 3 years of research. I still think Richmond, Virginia is the killer.
Absolutely. And we've been to about 30 different countries. So we love Richmond that much. We think it's just the best. People are like, what was second place? There was no second place, only Richmond. And so eventually when the right place kind of popped up and we were in the right sort of spot, summer 2023, we moved to Richmond finally after 2.5 years of pining over it.
And the plan all along was to be highlighting things on social?
No.
What was the plan initially?
Well, I was working, I'm a documentary filmmaker as well. So I was working on a documentary at the time. And I also, my husband and I own that media company where we do social media, consultation. It's a mixture. We do a lot of things in social media with that. So I'm busy. I'm not really thinking too much about it, but I did international, like I said before, of vegan food and things to do. Well, we're not living internationally anymore. We're going to be in Richmond. So I thought, well, my audience over there, they liked international things. Would they like Richmond, Virginia? Unsure. So I thought I better start a new account. And so that's where the Lauren Z. Ray account kind of was born. And I just wanted to do what I had a huge passion for and a love for. I mean, meeting the people behind these small businesses and these restaurants, the chefs around the world was so fulfilling for both of us. And I love promoting and people going there saying they saw the video and they went there and the chef hitting me up later being like, so many people came in saying they saw your video. It is so good. Paige, you understand for sure how good that feels. It's why you do it. Mm-hmm. And so I loved Richmond so much without even, just visiting a month in January one year. Loved it already so much. I wanted to show people why I loved it so much. And so that's kind of how it started, was this is why it's awesome. This is why we moved here. Because people were literally this is the most random city I've ever heard. What? Right? Virginia. Richmond. I don't think I've ever even been there. What's it known for? No one knew. And since we had lived, you guys probably think, some abroad, very fancy lifestyle, why Richmond, Virginia? And I was like, I'll show you why. So it kind of started to show people why.
So what was your first video in town? Do you remember?
I think it was a Blue Atlas vegan takeover.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm almost positive that was the first video.
Picked a talented chef on that one. Ben's great.
What was the initial, were you, obviously you're not nervous. You seem to have lots of confidence and you seem to be doing fine. You've done this a million times in other cities and other countries. Were you nervous with your first video here? Or were you just kind of I'm going to knock it out of the park? Or do you remember what was going through your mind?
That is really interesting. It's kind of, Lauren Z. Ray account already existed as my backup personal account. So everybody who currently followed me there were family and friends. And so I wasn't even nervous because I was I'm going to prove to my family and friends how cool Richmond is. So that was my whole mindset for the first video. So it didn't feel nervous because I didn't know if anyone would look at it except family and friends. So that's who I wanted to prove to them that Richmond was awesome.
And did your first one do well? Do you remember?
Actually, it did really well. Almost immediately, all my videos did really well, which was really awesome.
Cool.
So I guess vegan food was needed. People wanted to hear about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you get to Richmond?
Teaching. Yeah, I knew I wanted to move. I grew up in Pennsylvania, and I knew I wanted to move south. I don't know why. I picked Virginia and Florida. So I went to a job fair for education, and I just went to all those tables, and I connected with the principal. It was actually Louisa County. And so I moved here in 2012, and I haven't been really back. Like, this is my home. This is my roots. I fell in love with it immediately as well. I just like you, it's the food, it's the people. I'm also gay, and I just feel like it's a very queer-friendly space. It's just freaky. It's weird. I like the art. I like the architecture, just like Lauren, the museums, everything. So it was an easy place to fall in love with. And again, I love when people come and visit. I get to show them everything, take them places, and I just think it's a really, really cool place. So,
I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
Now, I know you had questions about their business.
I do.
Do you want to get into that now?
Yeah, I got all.
Or is there more background we want to get to?
Well, I mean, I think the background is important to understand what, there's just not what you see on Instagram.
Oh, no.
There's like a boatload of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that then produces the video that you see that you're looking at on your little square, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think that's the gravity of what you guys have going on behind the scenes is really important to let everybody hear because, it's a lot. So how do you do that? Like, let's talk about inside your business. Mm-hmm. So your day-to-day looks like, how do you decide who you work with? I know you talked about local, but there's a lot of local businesses that maybe could be a little icky. So like, is it research? Is it talking to the business owners? Like, tell me a little bit about how that works. Those decisions are made.
Well, actually, Paige just did like an Instagram story where she took us through her day. So I feel like you're fresh on this and you would probably have a good answer.
I mean, for me, with the Richmond Experience, I very rarely reach out to people to work with them. They reach out to me. Like, we have a website with a contact form and partners. So if you want to partner with us, you fill out a form. So most of my day, 90% of it is in front of a computer checking email. That's really, it's really not that glorious.
You're just like us.
I know.
Look at that.
I know.
Yes.
But I did do a day in the life because oftentimes there are a lot of misconceptions of what my day looks like. And, is all the stuff you post for free? No, it's not. I spend a lot of money, a lot of money on dining out, on doing things that I want to do. But yeah, I might show a video about it. But so we are very transparent as a business. Like, on our website, we have an about page. We have who we want to work with, who we support with nonprofits, how 80% of our content is organic. It is us paying for it. And then 20% is paid. And so we just have a rule of, like I said, being a small locally owned business. We do give discounts to BIPOC owners, LGBTQ plus owners, nonprofits, all of that sort of thing. But all of our prices on there, again, very transparent. And so my day just starts like any others. I wake up, I go to the gym, I go for a walk, and then I normally sit down and I have a content calendar. And, we have IG stories that are sponsored. We might have a sponsored post. Most of all that stuff is queued up. So I usually work like a week ahead. So most of my stuff that I'm pushing out this week is already done, And from there, I'm like usually sitting at my computer on Instagram for a few hours, and then I might have a business visit. And that's where a business wants to work with me to either make a reel or get some content. And so I'll do that in that early afternoon. And then I come home and I post about it. So that's when I do like my organic IG stories, just sharing like that experience. And then I often make that reel immediately. It's fresh in my brain. I was just there. All the content's there. So I make it. I make the copy, the voiceover script, all of that good stuff. And I log off around work, like email and stuff, probably around 4. But then my night usually continues. Do I have a dinner? Do I have a media event? Do I, want to spend time with my friends and family? So
no.
So it is just most of the time. Yes, I get to do really cool things and experience a lot. And I am super uber grateful for that. But all of that takes a cost. So what is it? Like, what am I giving for that?
Sure.
It's like a give and a take, always, just with anything. So oftentimes, if I am going to do something, I have to go home and make it, or, create something, whether it's a city guide and I'm writing, like I just went to Kinsale, so I wrote a travel guide. So I'm taking all of that and sitting down the next day and creating then. So it is like a mix of both.
I did have a question that's a little in the weeds, but since I do something not similar, but sort of adjacent to what you guys do, what programs are you using to schedule your social? And then what are you creating your content? Are you editing on a laptop, or are you editing in the phone? How does that work?
I'm sure Lauren has some really high-tech fancy stuff. I don't. I keep it pretty chill. I have a MacBook Pro. It's great. I have my handy dandy iPhone, and that's pretty much all that I use to work. We use Asana, Kelsey and I, to task manage. We use Planoly, and I make a lot of my stuff in Splice, but just on my phone. And that's really it. I mean, we're not fancy. We don't have a lot. We also have a podcast. We use Riverside because we don't have this awesome production. I wish, maybe one day.
Production.
So we use Riverside and Buzzsprout to like get things on. And then we use Squarespace for our website. So yeah, and I know there are millions of tools out there now, but all of it costs money, and we don't want a large overhead.
Sure.
So we try and keep things as simple as possible.
Absolutely.
And what tools do you use?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, Paige just described her day-to-day so similarly to mine. Like everything you were saying, I was like, yes. You're like 90% in front of the computer. I'm like, yes, exactly. Which is really funny. I think it's a little bit different because both Lucas is my husband and partner and business partner. We do everything together. We both work from home. We own the company together. We're both content creators. It's crazy. So we kind of have like certain days we do things where I'm also filming his stuff. So I also film and edit his Instagram videos as well. And I also am on YouTube. So I do things to do and places around Virginia and stuff on YouTube as well. So different camera for YouTube, that sort of thing. So it's kind of a lot of moving parts, a lot of scheduling and figuring out. But just like Paige, you never know what event or person's going to reach out. So like you have to be flexible, and you might be going somewhere on a Monday night or whatever. So you kind of it's a lot of moving parts, but it's a lot of editing, a lot of admin, a lot of emails, and working with people as well. I'm kind of the same as Paige. I just wait for people to come to me. Now, I get super excited about vegan options. So if there's a restaurant or somebody who has vegan options, I will reach out to them because I need it. Yeah. And a lot of restaurants in the vegan space, it feels like are a little intimidated to reach out to me. I think they're like, oh no, if I reach out to her.
There's your camera. Talk to them right now.
Reach out to me.
What's your message?
Right. Like, just hit me up. I am like so excited and so happy to promote you because vegan restaurants I think that it's tough. Yeah, I think they think, well, I don't know if she wants to come here and is she going to charge a bunch? And, but I'm like, listen, I'll do anything for the vegan community.
I need the vegan food.
So
Mainline that.
Yeah.
Literally.
Why not?
Yeah.
I do want to ask you about thumbnails
in
the first 3 seconds of the video.
Oh my gosh.
Talk to me about the importance of thumbnails.
So in the weeds,
and the
this
first 3
guy,
seconds
and
of the
I
video.
love it, right?
Yes.
Talk to me about it.
Okay. I always say I don't really have a lot of anxiety when it comes to filming except getting the shot. And what I mean is getting the first shot. Because all of my videos, if you watch them, if you just were to go like this, first of all, it's going to say, come with me every 2 seconds. Come with me, because I say the same thing every single video at the beginning on Instagram anyway. And it's always like I'm doing something. And I try to do a lot of things all at once to get the attention of the viewer.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, so they're called hooks.
Yeah.
And so there's a written hook, which is something you can write above. There's a physical hook where you can make a physical movement. There's a hook of like brightly colored attire that you might be wearing.
Usually green.
Yes, exactly. There's a verbal hook, which on Instagram, a lot of people don't have their sound on. So in that case, it might not work, but that would work for like YouTube or other spaces that people have sound on. So you could do all 4 at the same time. And so that's typically my move, is trying to get the shot, which is like doing a combination of them, depending on what I'm doing. So a lot of times with food, it's like taking a bite. So that would be your physical hook, and I'll write above something that I think will entice the viewer, which is usually Richmond, Virginia. It's here, it's here. And then like whatever I'm, promoting or talking about above that. And then I'm usually wearing green. That's kind of been my brand color. And so I try to continue with that.
Did you come out of the gate doing all of this, or does this trial and error?
Well, with the Lauren's Yuri account, everything's going to look pretty much the same because I have figured that out on my previous account. Yeah.
So the practice made it not 100% perfect, but you're doing pretty well. So
yes, indeed.
I never want to say anything's perfect, but you guys are certainly close. I mean, your hair's looking good today, Scott. I got to tell you. It's like almost there.
Almost, but not perfect. But not perfect.
Nothing is.
I just love it when you get a haircut.
Strive for greatness.
You go from like shaggy boy band to boy band. It's awesome.
That's my goal.
And is your stuff similar to Lauren's?
I mean, I feel like, Lauren, you definitely have training. Like did you go to school for it?
Yes. So in New York City, I went to school at the New York Conservatory for Dramatic Arts.
Yes. And I am just self-taught. And I mean, do I get, emails about what's trending and, staying on top of like Instagram and new features, all of that? Yes. But my videos are not all the same. And no, I don't do like all my videos don't start with "come with me." Occasionally, but I mean,
it's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It works.
It works.
The 3 words work.
Don't come with me.
Everybody understands.
Stay right there.
Stay away.
And yeah,
Don't like you
That's
very
what I'm going to
much.
start mine with. Do not come with me. You should go with Lauren.
but I would say all my videos are a little different, and I edit them all pretty much the same, but they're all different. And I do have hooks, I think, but I'm just going more organic. I don't know how else to
Both
describe
of them
it.
have been successful, so
Yes.
I don't know if there's a right or wrong way, right?
No, there's
it's just
not.
cool hearing your process.
Oh, yeah.
Especially for individuals that are getting into this and want to see how someone who has some veteran, we'll put that in quotes, right? Because we don't know what veteran means in the Instagram world.
Right.
So, I mean, but yeah, I think it's cool to listen to that type of stuff. So you guys say that people typically reach out to you, which is awesome, which means you've made a pretty big name. When they reach out to you, what goes into that? You research the business, your prices are transparent. So pretty much you're guessing that they already know what it's going to cost because they've done some research. Do you send them a media kit?
You are correct. It is a media kit. Yeah, and it has everything on there. So, but I always mention in my email because, every place who reaches out is different. I say, and I am always willing to work with any budget because I really love promoting local things.
Cool.
And I'm also the same way. So like if a business reaches out and is like, that's a little bit out of my reach, I'm like, okay, let's meet in the middle somewhere. Like I said, we offer discounts as well. And once they fill out the contact form, I have pretty much just like a skeleton email that I will send out to them. I'll zhuzh it up a little bit based on the client. But before I even do that, I'm researching. I am looking, is this a business I want to support? What are their views? Is this, do I actually want to do it?
Right.
Do I think my audience will like it? Because I often will say no because I know it's not going to do well. And I don't want them to,
expect something that they're not going to get. Sure.
Well, just get their return of investment. Sure. I want to ensure that if you're spending like $500 on me, that I'm giving you $500 in return.
Sure.
So I want to just ensure that the partnership is both successful for both parties. And a lot of times I already know the business is reaching out, so it's really not hard. But every once in a while I have to do some research, make sure it's the right fit. And I do. I'll say, no, this isn't good right now. I'm trying to think, like for example, a recent one that you guys have done, Flash Food. I think it's a really cool app, but they're not local, and they're working with Kroger, which, not really local, but I mean, it's cool. I like it. And I loved the event they had at Dinner Party because Dinner Party is a client of mine, but I just said no. And, maybe there's something next time,
Yeah.
And so I just take it case by case. Yeah, sometimes I do feel like I'm missing out, but I don't really have FOMO anymore because I'm just honestly.
Tomorrow's a new day. There's going to be another event the next day.
There will be something else.
You missed a good cheese board from Kyle.
Oh, gotta love cheese boards.
And a personal basil.
Yes.
I mean, I love the app. You got a personal basil. I love the app. So if you get to use the app, but you're right. But I understand. Like, I love that was a discerning thought on your.
She's the Richmond Experience.
Yep.
And to me, what she's saying totally makes sense because I'm obsessed with branding and marketing, especially when it comes to social media. So what she was saying, I was like, yes, that's exactly how I would play it too, because it's what you would experience in Richmond specifically.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm snacks in Virginia, so Flash Food makes sense for me, right? Because it's
absolutely.
You're going to cook that. But like, I actually really, really love like hearing what went on in your head for that specific thing, Paige.
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing.
And I mean, also Goodwill. They have reached out multiple times, and I'm just like, yeah, cool. I wish, but it's just not the right fit for us. And, sometimes it hurts a little. And I try to be very kind. And, I often will say why. And usually once I say it, they understand. And, at the end of the day, I want to give, my audience follows me for a reason, and I love them, and I just want to give them the best.
Now, do you funnel those business opportunities to other people you might know might be a good connection for them? Like when something like this comes your way and you're like, you know what, it isn't Richmond or surrounding counties.
Yeah.
So like I guess maybe my next question is, you're the Richmond, how does Kinsale travel from Richmond fit in?
Sure. Yeah. We often do travel guides. So I know Annie at the Slips. She actually hired the Richmond Experience a few years ago when she launched the Slips in her club at the marina there. And so it's cool.
The connection from Richmond to there is very cool.
And there's some local chefs there now that are running their food and bev. And it's just a really cool place. And it's only an hour and a half. You can make the trip. Yes. We do. I just went to Lexington, Virginia.
I love it. I read your Lexington stuff. Are you kidding?
Yeah, the Lime Kiln venue was awesome. So yeah, I often do travel, but I keep it within Richmond and a doable distance. Like we have guides all the way to Roanoke, to Cape Charles. But again, people want to get out of Richmond, do a little weekend trip. So we like to, do as much as we can within reason.
But I love that you connect it back. Like that's really, really neat. So I think that's the key. Everything has a tendril back to the physical space that you're having the Richmond Experience.
Do you have an example, either recent or during your careers doing this, where you're invited to an event and you have plans on covering it and you get there and you're like, this is a disaster?
All the time.
So how do you handle that without throwing anyone under the bus?
Well, just like with Paige, it's like Richmond Experience. So it's like, what's my filter for like what I take on? And it's what I like, what Lauren Z. Ray likes. So if you really go through all my reels, you're like, there's a pattern here. She likes history. She likes musicals. She likes, I love adventure, so you're going to see a lot of that. And then vegan food, of course. So if someone were to approach me for like something that's not on brand, like I've had a few clients who I ended up working with who approached, and I was like, I don't know if I'm like hugely into a collectible shop. But Lucas is into collectibles, and I'm like, that's when I incorporate him into it. So I'm like, it's something he loves.
Thank God for him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine I connect my partner. I'm not a social media person whatsoever, but like the connection of someone as a partner. I see Holly, I see Lucas. I think that's really great. I actually really like watching a social media account that connects somebody else in their life, whether it be a friend or a partner or however it works. So I think that's cool.
Yeah. And I always find something within it too that I'm interested in. But with projects like that, I go by the shop and look at it myself and see if it's possible before I ever agree to anything. Because I'm like, is this a space that I would actually want to promote? And did I find anything I would like here? Because I'm like, I still want to connect it still to me, even if it's like maybe more of a Lucas thing because he's more into Pokemon cards or whatever. So I and then those I end up doing. But yeah, just like Paige, it's like, pass on things that just don't make sense, but are still good opportunities, but just don't make sense for me. And I've totally given names of other people that I'm like, well, they do this sort of thing or whatever.
Yeah. When you guys go to an event and disaster, do you send, or go to something and it's disaster, do you send an email like, this might help you? Or do you just say thanks, recently, but no thanks?
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes they're already a client, and this isn't the first time I've been there. Like, I recently went somewhere, I'm not going to say, and sometimes businesses will cover the experience, but not all the time. And that's okay. Like, I'm not looking for a free meal all the time or any time.
They're paying you for a service. Yes. This is how it's going. So
I paid my tab. And nowhere did it say there was already a 20% gratuity. And I tip well. That is one thing that I do. Even if I were to get a free meal, I always leave
Me too.
At least 20%, if not more.
Same.
And so
they're getting that. Yeah.
They're not getting the money.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I'm well aware of that. And so I was just a little skeeved because I put 20% on top of the bill and the 20% that they already took. So I just think like it could have been posted somewhere. It could have been on the menu. It could have been just even told to me, hey, just so you know, gratuity is already included. So those instances just make me feel a little icky. And so I was planning to just email the GM and say, hey, just so you know, I feel like it should be posted, or just like, hey, put it, because they didn't even give me a bill. They just were like, swipe your card kind of thing. And so just in those instances, I just felt like this could have been done a little bit better. And I mean, again, I'm not going to ask for it back. Like,
right. But you could tell them that the audience that you have is probably going to feel the same way, right?
Yeah.
And so it's a valuable input to the general manager.
Just know that gratuity is included.
Because if somebody goes based on something you said, have an understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So in those instances, but at like media events, I feel like those are always very curated. So I always like to go again to kind of get what's an experience that's not hyper
attentive.
Sure. I like to just try it out if I can, if my schedule allows. Because oftentimes, like the media events, you're not paid to go.
Right.
I'm not required to do anything. So, but if I really enjoyed it and I want to share about it, I might go back, just to get the authentic experience, if you will. But I can't really think of anything.
I was going to say, I'm like totally on the same page as Paige. And
as the Richmond Experience. I love it. It's awesome.
And when I said all the time, I mean like within the span of the 9 years I've been doing this, not necessarily with Richmond, but some places their vegan options aren't very good, and I will not post those. So it's funny because people will be like, I saw on your story, but is it really good? And I said, I never post food that's not good. So if I had it and I took pictures and it wasn't good, I don't post it.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. Sometimes I'll even talk about if it's not good.
I was going to say, sometimes you post it if it's good.
It won't be on my feed. Like, you can go through my entire feed if you like. There's nothing on there that I would not send you to eat. We will talk about it when it's not good, because I don't want to send you there either. But I'm not at the level that this is. This is like I don't have an email calendar or any of those things.
I'm aware.
Thank God. I have a job. Like, this is their job.
I understand.
It's great. So pro tips for people that might actually no. Let's start with this. Is there stuff that you won't do again, like you learned, like this is a bad calendar, or this is like not the way to do my day, or like as you get through this, like is there an efficiency that you're like, oh, I wish I did that 10 years ago because it's made my life like 10 times easier? Because I'm getting into like new influencers and how you feel about some of the ones that we have going on now, and B, what you would do to tell a new influencer something.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, that's tough. I would say it's always tricky. And I always tell people everything's tricky and everything's subjective, and each person, it's Wild West really still out here. So I would want to say, like, don't take every project, but some people need the practice. And then some people, I don't want to speak for Paige, but because I have another business, my page is, of course, I do take paid gigs and stuff, but like if it doesn't connect, I don't need the money, so I have to take it. Whereas maybe some people are in that position.
Sure.
So it's tricky to say that too. So, but just be aware of like what you actually authentically love and try to keep with that. It's so much easier. I always tell people it's so much more sustainable and easier if you're doing what you love and enjoy.
I agree, because oftentimes with my other account, Sips and Trips, by nowhere near the level of, followers, if you will, but they're loyal. And sometimes my views on that account are just as good as the views on the Richmond Experience. But I think it's because it is so niche. It's wine and food and travel. And those are three things that I love. And so oftentimes people will reach out to me on that account and it's about like a med spa. And I'm like, I don't think this really aligns with food, wine, and travel.
Does it have a good Cabernet and is it Virginia focused? Because then, yes, I'll go to the Salt Cave.
Yes, exactly. So I think it's just, being authentic to yourself, knowing what you love, and to just like, it doesn't have to be lifestyle. Just pick one thing that you love and just do it really well. I would just say like, focus on one thing you're good at and just kind of keep that your story. Because when the world is your oyster, it could be overwhelming. Like even for the Richmond Experience, I like to keep it like what to eat, drink, see, and do. Because sometimes that can even get overwhelming too. So to just kind of like narrow it down, I would say.
I love it. How do you guys handle like yucky people? Comments and I mean we all get them, right? Like,
oh yeah.
And I don't know if you guys watch The New Heights, but I really love Taylor Swift's response to yucky. But I mean nobody's at that level. But how do you guys nobody but her. But like how do you guys handle that?
I mean my energy is expensive.
Sure, which I love. Yeah.
I have number one, I have app blockers. I only allow myself to get on Instagram during certain parts of the day. So I'm not endlessly scrolling. I get on there and I do my job. I do have to do some scrolling on there to know what's going on, share things, see, the trends, if you will. But ultimately, I try not to overconsume. It is a very tricky thing. It is meant to be addictive. So I have app blockers. I have boundaries. Number two, I just have some thicker skin now. I mean, I'm not going to say that if I see a comment, it doesn't hurt my feelings, because it does. But at the end of the day, they don't know me.
Yeah.
They don't know me at all. And I have some really cool friends and I have like a really cool partner. And at the end of the day, they don't know anything about me. So, and oftentimes it's just usually out of jealousy or lack or comparison. And, I've been there too, but they don't know me. So.
Totally. I agree with Paige. And it helps also that I have a partner who literally is online and doing the same thing. So we really can bounce off each other and be there for each other for all kinds of things that this social media world can throw at us. I also have a very, I would say I'm very empathetic, honestly. And so sometimes when I see mean, I think hurt. And so I know it's like hurt people responding, but I will say I feel very grateful and fortunate. I have so many positive, lovely comments on a daily basis. I mean, paragraphs in my DMs of something that I posted or a video that I did that changed their life. I mean, this stuff like is what I feel like happens more often and what I focus my attention on. I mean, even YouTube especially, because it's longer form, like people get to know me a little better over there and they just are the loveliest, best viewers. I think everyone's really lovely too. So
I'd love to hear that.
That's
great.
I mean, it makes me so happy. I feel like my heart just grew like 2 sizes, and we know that it's small. So.
Yeah, I mean, I received an email from Kendra, owner of Laura Lee's Roosevelt.
Could she be any the better? I mean, she's incredible.
Incredible. And I mean, like, I still I have that email starred Just like in case I'm having a bad day, like at the end of the day, it's the business owners, the people that we're making an impact for, you know, and yes, we're sharing this for the greater audience, but I mean, the business owners that reach out and say, thank you, brunch went from this to this, or date night went from this to this. And it's just, it works. And a lot of times, you know, I feel like I'm screaming out into the void, you know, and it is nice to just focus on the positive at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean, the mean comments, they come and they go, or we have seasons. I have seasons of it where like I won't have anything for a really long time and then I'll have boom, 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 you know?
Do you think it's because one piles on another that makes it seasonal? They're like, oh, now it's okay. I can be a mean pants.
Oftentimes, sometimes they're like emails too. Cause I mean, our emails are out there and like, we'll get like an email and I'm like, okay.
Started.
All right. Okay.
Do you ever have issues in person when you guys are both visible people?
No, nobody's ever going to say anything in person.
I really won't. I mean, it's the most amazing thing. I'll get the most ferocious email and then I know who you are. And they'll be like,
hey, what's up? No.
Hey, so cool to see you. And I'm like, but really?
Yeah. I mean, I get folks coming out to me and they're like, oh my God, you're the Richmond Experience. And I'm like, I'm Paige. I'm your normal girl. I like wine. What's up?
And I really just want to eat this oyster.
Yeah. So that will happen. And that's always cool. And I am always like flabbergasted because I'm just Paige, you know, I'm a normal girl, you know, just doing the daily grind. So that's always nice when folks come up.
It's the best. I think that's what's cool about Richmond is it is so small that like your audience can see you in physical person. And it is the best ever. I don't think there's been one time that I've been out and about where I haven't at least been recognized once.
Yes.
I mean, people, and they love to tell you things. I always
tell you
where to go, what to do, and
the best stuff.
Oh, yes.
They also compliment your outfits and stuff. Like I will say, I always tell my sisters when they visit, I'm like, if you get a compliment, I was like, people here just give them out like candy basically, and it's a big deal. So whenever they would get one, they'd be like, oh my gosh, I just got a compliment on my shirt. I'm like, told you Richmonders are awesome. They literally compliment you all the time.
I love it. That makes me so happy to hear that, you know, because you hear such crappy social media stories. I love that these two are like, no, it's good.
It is good.
Let's do the listicle thing because you know how much of social media loves a list.
They do love the list.
They love a list. So we'll do what? What do you want to do with Lauren? The best vegan food 5?
Not the best.
How about the one she frequents the most?
Favorites.
Because I find the ones that everybody always asks me the best restaurants, and I'm like, you know, really, you probably should ask me where I go the most.
Ooh.
Because that's most likely going to be my favorite, and then I don't have to say it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, Lucas is obsessed with Proper Pie. So we are at Proper Pie anytime because they change the vegan, they give one savory option, like 3 sweet options, but they switch up that savory one every week. So you could technically go every week. And so he's always checking the special. So Proper Pie, we are at all the time. If you ever watch our YouTube channel, it is the one place we go the most often in all the videos. And if you guys haven't been there yet, they're these like little New Zealand hand pies. It's like your own personal little pie, and they're so good. And they're so good, and there's so many different options. And there's at least a vegan option, which is great. So we're always there. And then we do love Zorch Pizza. And I feel like this list is going to be people who do specials a lot. Because Zorch
it's perfect.
They switch up their vegan special every week practically. So you're like, now I have to try this one. Buffalo chicken ranch, what? And then the next one's like, hot pickle, huh? So you're like, you just like have to try it. So it's like very enticing. And I feel like that with anybody out there who has a dietary restriction, when you're like, you know, there's a new one, you get really excited about it. So I have excitement for vegan stuff all the time. One More Taco is probably one of my absolute favorites, and I tell everybody to go there because Maria literally takes the entire menu and you turn it over, and every single thing you can veganize. And that is rare. Like nobody does that. The entire menu, even she did this like concha burger for brunch, and she's like, you can't find vegan conchas, so I just made them homemade. What?
Love it. Also, she's so cool.
Oh, and it was delicious, by the way. And
so
I
was
said,
Rob.
You should just sell conchas. I was like, it's so good. Obviously, Blue Atlas vegan takeovers. We mentioned it already. Every few months, they do an entire night or week worth of evenings, which we love that they're doing that now. And they do a huge menu of like 15 vegan options, 3 desserts, appetizers, and you get like fancy upscale small plates from across the world veganized. It's beautiful. So I think those are like the most.
Rolls off the tongue.
That's a list.
I love it. Are you kidding? So I guess what do we do to Paige? Have her do the Richmond Experience, including
Favorite
snacks.
experiences?
Yeah. So you're like,
So
what
what
is
to
the
eat,
ultimate?
drink, see, and do.
Yeah. Give me the ultimate Richmond Experience.
Okay, and it doesn't have to be things I frequent
Per
all the
camera.
time.
Right there. That's your camera.
Oh,
Tell the
okay.
folks at home.
Okay, what to eat. Again, this is more of a, if you will, I can't think of the word. Special occasion. There we go. I'll go with that. Lost letter. What to drink? Jardin. I'm always there. Just the team there, the snacks there, so good. Probably I love walking like the T. Tyler Potterfield Bridge, the Teapot Bridge. Eat, drink, see, do Maymont. I'm always at Maymont. I love it. So those are like my go-to things that you need to do in Richmond. Also, just gonna throw in Nate's Bagels because I'm there all the time.
Well, I mean, you gotta have something to do. You gotta have something to do.
It's your list.
Soak up all your
do whatever you
activities
want
in the
with it.
next day, right? You just planned my day for me, so the next day is a nice bagel at Nate's.
And Lauren,
Kill.
we were talking about a vegan event that you have coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to drop
The
that?
extracurriculars in you guys'
Oh my
lives.
gosh,
Yeah.
right. So there was no place anymore post-COVID for vegans to kind of gather. And so I decided to start a social club. It's called Vegan Club RVA. And you don't have to be vegan to join. You just want to enjoy vegan food. That's what I always say because it's very
Or
food
vegan people.
centered. Right? What if you
Vegans,
just...
I guess- vegans, I guess they're called.
Or just regular
just
people that
people.
happen to eat vegetables. I mean, like
Vegetables.
people.
What's wrong with them?
Exactly. So I always try to put on at least one free event every month, and then sometimes we do a ticketed event, which are very exciting. And it's great because it's always a lot of collaborations with local businesses and showcasing what they have to offer vegans, which is really fun. And so Saturday, we have a 4-course fine dining vegan meal at Celeste Farms.
Oh, gosh,
and
lovely.
you can get in the sauna and cold plunge afterwards, and they're going to do opening meditation. It's in collaboration with 3 businesses. So it's Vegan Club X, Conscious Table, that's the chef, and the meditation that we're going to do. Celeste Farms is the event venue, and then Point 5 is doing mocktail pairings with every course.
That's
That
amazing.
didn't take any organization. I mean, it
my
just
gosh.
came together
Yeah.
like organically, didn't
The
it?
Zoom calls, there's like 8 people on there. It was like a lot to coordinate, but I love doing these things because these are opportunities that vegans don't normally get, and that's my whole plan with Vegan Club is to continue to do those things.
So remind folks exactly where they can find all the places they can find you, Instagram, YouTube, where are all the links. We'll put all the links in the show notes too, but just so you can say it.
Yeah, so at Lauren Z. Ray, it's just my name, and that's Instagram and YouTube. And then Vegan Club is at Vegan Club RVA, veganclubrva.com. And that's where you can find us.
And your YouTube is Lauren Z. Ray as well?
It is.
Nice. All right, Paige, stuff upcoming for you?
So we host a monthly book club for our members. It's a member perk. We're meeting this Thursday. Oh my goodness, today's Wednesday. We're meeting this week, so it's probably too late, but we're going to be at Paddle Club to do that. We like to go around different spots in town to just kind of check them out for our book club. And then, yeah, I'm like trying to think. We are going to have, mostly do member events.
I was
for
going to say
our
you
members.
have a cool membership,
Yes, we do.
which is pretty inexpensive for all the stuff that you send out.
So yeah, it's $39 a year. We send you 2 newsletters every week, one on social news, one are the top events for the weekend. We also have member perks. We do, like I said, a monthly book club. We have member meetups. Like I think our next one's going to be in November, like right before the holidays. We also have a podcast, The Chatter, that drops every Friday. And mostly that is 20 to 30 minute episodes of what to eat, drink, see, and do that week. Sometimes we have guests as well. And our big thing is our event calendar. That's probably the most clicked thing on our website is folks want to know what to do. And Instagram, things go away quickly. So join the membership, and that way you have your curated calendar. And I hand curate it all. I'm the one that's putting everything in. And so I like to just say I'm picking the best events for you guys. Yes.
Well, good stuff. So the Richmond Experience, Lauren Z. Ray. You're listening to Eat It Virginia with Lauren, Paige, Roby, and Scott.